Deep within the woods, a creature slowly stirs, but it's justice or shed blood the thing for which the creature thirsts. Hello, and welcome once again to Sagas of the Sunless Reach, the Riddle of Rule. My name is Zachary Frederickson, your game master for this morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on where in this wide world you are. And today, I am joined once again by my friends. I forgot the order. I'm going to go through by the Discord. Bitmap.
Hello, my name is Bitmap, pronoun she, her, and you can find me on Twitter at BMPrager, and I am playing a mean old lady today.
Yes. By my friend Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey. He, him pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Endless Musings, and I swear I did not make a murder boy on purpose.
Murder boy, murder boy.
My friend Jade.
Hello, I'm Jade. They, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxfordRose. And I play the one with the scythe, but they're actually very good at doctoring as well.
And my friend Mab.
Hi, I'm Mab. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Patreon at Little Lady Mab. Pronouns are she, her. And I play the smart one that fails all of my investigation rolls.
Big mood!
I roll a 3 on all of them.
Well, and like I said, I'm Zachary Frederickson. You can find me on Twitter at OffSkinandGod. You can find the music I make at iambugbear.bandcamp.com. And yeah, this is episode 2. We're gonna get back into it. As I let you all know that the trees are thick and dark. The blaze of Alexei Vital's cabin shines through the trees at your back like a beacon, depicting where you have been, and before you is great mystery as you pursue a lead in the strange mystery of Professor Alexei Vital in this Riddle of Rule. But before we get into what happens next, I would like to talk about what happened last time.
Yeah. Well, you say you're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because I wrote up the recap.
We are all going to, yes.
We as a collective unit are going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So previously, the four of us are called to meet our friend, the Professor Alexei Vital, at his cabin in the forest outside of Rule, only to find that there are signs of a struggle in the dirt leading up to his front porch, and the door is hanging off of its hinges. When we investigate the house, we find it barely disturbed, even with a pot of eggs boiling away on the stove, meaning it couldn't have happened more than a few minutes ago. In the cabin, we find a large alchemically treated map and a few notes and letters that belong to the professor, though several are addressed to his pseudonym, Holbrook Mason. Before we can plan what to do next, however, we are locked in and addressed by none other than Argus Vanatori, the Warden of Rule and the leader of Aldrich's hounds. It becomes a race against time as the hounds set the cabin on fire with us inside. Elżbieta and Apricus search for a hidden door, while Oren and Kasana attempt to get the front door open again. Luck is on our side as a secret door is uncovered beneath Alexi's desk and we all disappear down it, though not without Kasana stalling long enough to announce that to the hounds that they did not kill us and that they best remember our faces because we'll be coming for them. Thanks, Kasana. Under his cabin, Under his cabin, there's a secret cavern, including a store of muskets and shot, some elixirs, bombs, and a disguise kit. There are also 2 banners featured prominently on the wall, one for the People's Crusades, which Kasana is a member of, and the Rams. Once we escape from the underground tunnel, we find ourselves surrounded by guards who have been watching the cabin burn. In a very bad stealth roll on my behalf, Elżbieta gets hit pretty hard, prompting Kasana to lend a healing hand, and then immediately somehow make it worse. Thanks! Oren is there, however, to give a non-divine touch of healing and patches her up before promptly destroying the guard who attacked her by, shattering his jaw. Across the way, Apricus sets several men on fire, quite literally, and Kasana makes short work of the remaining guards, including their captain. From the captives we learn that the professor has been taken to the Vanatori Lodge, and that it is heavily fortified and impossible to infiltrate. We end with Apricus discovering how to read the secret key in the map by holding it up to the flaming wreckage of the cabin and to the outhouse with some corpses inside. And from there we learn about where the headquarters of the Rams are possibly located and decide to head to them for assistance.
Yeah, that's very, very fast and very all-encompassing.
I can read it faster.
No. What transpired last time. Fantastic. Yes, so you are heading out into the woods, out of the woods, because the Rams' camp is actually on the far side of the Sojanward and from the parish than you are on. I mean, it's not like a couple hours thing. This is going to be a thing that takes you a couple of days to move through, to traverse. The parish is not a small place. You are, it's like 70 miles away. What is the vibe as you move over these 2 days through the countryside towards the Rams?
Vibes aren't great.
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty bad. Apricus is looking over his shoulder. He's afraid someone's gonna try and detain him out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the vibes are pretty rancid.
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully, that guard that you let go does not seem to have raised the alarm, because there are not yet wanted posters up with you. It seems that Argus Vanatori believes that you have died.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I don't know how believable that was, though. Okay. It's just me being paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it did leave some burnt corpses in the outhouse. Maybe they could mistake that for us.
Maybe.
Did they not see us jump down into a secret tunnel?
Everyone who saw that is dead, or...
We did kill or convince those people to leave.
Okay,
Argus
I wasn't too
Vanatori
sure
was
if Argus
already
was still
gone.
there. Okay.
Yeah, he left immediately.
Okay, thank God.
Very
I
trusting.
Here I
do
was
really
thinking
like the notion of this is the conversation that's happening as we make our way through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're very serious considerations that we have to think about.
Yeah.
Oran, for his part, is just sort of very quiet, taking in everyone's conversations. Just doesn't offer much. Doesn't seem as concerned as Apricus or Elżbieta, though. Just like, yep. Very
Kasana...
oddly relaxed, I suppose. Aware of surroundings, not like like completely like checked out, just sort of like chill.
Kasana has spent most of her time with Orin, actually.
Oh no.
She seems to have pointedly just been ignoring Elspethia
Fine.
this whole time, and kind of every time a priestess is around, gives him a look.
Mom's mad at you.
I swear.
He's like, I'm not a murderer, that was just false press. Proceeds to kill 4 people.
It's fire! I can't make fire non-lethal!
No. But you never picked up admonishing Ray in these last few years.
I'm trying to learn about the sun. It's important to be able to replicate the effects of the sun. Simple Ray won't do.
There are many ways to replicate the effects of the sun.
Differently from the sun lamps.
So as you are moving through the various things, you cross the bridge. You head into Crossroads, or through Crossroads at least, one of the kind of heart of the parish. Crossroads is not the largest settlement in Ruel Parish, but it is the closest to Aldrich Manor, and thus the de facto location for Aldrich Errol's monthly meetings with the people of Ruel. Thankfully, you seem to have skated past the date of his monthly meetings, and his people are not present, well, any more than normal in Crossroads as you pass through it. Of course, in the time that it takes to travel, if anybody had been missing any hit points or conditions, you would have had time to take care of those. Do you do anything in Crossroads as you pass through it? Do you stay there for any amount of time? Are you just all sleeping out in the woods?
I want to like just replenish my like healer's stuff. If there's like an apothecary or whatever, just keep stocked up on that.
Sure, totally.
When in town, Orange sort of makes the effort to look smaller than they are and keeps the scythe sort of like other way up and the blade wrapped while in town, so it's not immediately obvious what sort of weapon it is they're carrying. The face paint is probably less obnoxious as well.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So
kind of muddled a bit so that you don't scare the folks with your war paint.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Like morning after a rock concert than a Viking Berserker kind of vibe.
Fair.
Totally.
Sana's definitely going to try and get a read on the town while we're there.
Same
but
here,
yeah.
yeah. I'd like to see if I can't gather any information in the town.
Yeah,
is it worth us staying a night here? Like, inns are always a good spot for hearing stuff.
Yeah, but also I don't want the possibility of people being like, "Oh, you guys." I mean, I would stay late, but then not stay in town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think between the four of us, we probably could handle camping.
Sure. Yeah. Totally. Sweet. Whoever wants to can roll a gather information activity, which is a diplomacy check. Probably one person rolls, and other people can roll to aid them.
Kasana would like to loudly take charge of this.
Cool. I will note that I do have streetwise, so instead of using diplomacy, I could use my society check, which is quite beefy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You could do that as well. if you're both trying to answer the same questions, then you could help each other, or if you're both trying to find out different things, you could roll independently.
I wish to know how the people feel about these rams, and also what the general consensus is about the area.
Okay, how loud about this do you want to be? Because also I do have discreet inquiry, which is when gathering information, I can hide the true subject of my inquiry and just make it seem a little more casual about
Everybody got a gather information move. Oren, what's your gather information move?
-1. I ain't doing shit. I will go buy my medical
I'm
stuff.
an investigator. Of course I have a gather information role. Come on.
Why should we be discreet about this?
Because we don't want the Rams to know that we're coming for them, or that other people become aware that we're looking for them, because then they can go into hiding, and then that map is completely useless.
Apricus over here going, well, I was just going to ask about...
We're not hunting them down.
They don't know that. One of
If
their
we were very
contacts
loudly
just
positive about them, they would know that we were...
You think that if we're loudly positive about them, that they'll automatically believe us?
Oh, believe me.
And there is another issue about being loudly positive about the rebels.
Yeah, that was going to be Orange.
Voice of God.
No, I was going to say Orange also going to be like, we're already been accused of being called conspirators. I don't know if we want to be loud about looking for their people causing trouble, regardless of how in the right we think they are. Just, I want to avoid more attention until we're ready for it, Kasana.
I'd like to keep the countryside as friendly as possible, or what can
not
be
on
said.
fire?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that was what I was attempting to keep it from also being. Thank you. I'm just going to ask about ingredients, to be honest. Best places to gather them, because it seems like we ought to be prepared a little more than we are, and some alchemy may not be a bad idea.
Cool. Sweet. So we have... Kasana, do you want to help Elżbieta with a discreet inquiry about the rams?
Yeah, very begrudgingly.
And then Apricus, okay, yeah, so you settle.
There's my deets, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, cool, very cool. That's useful. So, Kasana, you're going to roll diplomacy to assist in Elżbieta's diplomacy roll.
All right.
Fantastic. Elżbieta, you're going to get a +1 on your diplomacy roll to gather information.
Okay, oops, not deception. Haha. Which is fine because my diplomacy is better anyway.
All right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Incredible. Everyone also has a hero point.
Yeah. Oh, do we? Yeah. Did our hero points replenish?
You get one at the beginning of the session, and if you had any left over, those carry over to a maximum.
I have no idea if I had any left over. I don't think I did. I need to
bring over my hero point cards for my other games.
I definitely used all of mine, so
I'm gonna fucking re-roll that because that is fucking trash. I have a +11 and I got a 13. This is.
Shoutouts to the two crew.
Jade, I understand how you feel now about Roll20.
Y'all are cursed.
The thing is, you insult the gods.
This is not insulting the gods.
I'm trying to appease the gods by doing things discreetly.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well,
okay.
I rolled a 7.
A 7, which is an 18, +1, which is a 19.
A 2. No, that was with my +1. I added the +1.
Well, then, shit, then that's a failure. I'm trying to help you.
I know, but I was trying to be efficient and added the +1 in to start with. And I'm just being honest.
For sure. This is
Yes.
this is the one problem with this is the one problem with using a virtual tabletop, is that you can't always tell when someone has added everything or not.
Yeah.
Do a lot of math in my head on VTTs. Anyway, so the two of you look into the Rams, get almost nothing. People don't like talking about them. It's kind of gauche. It's kind of rude, because you get the idea that most people are bought into the Aldrich Errol, and just the Errols in general, as the stewards and defenders of this place. You do hear something very vague that one of them got captured somewhere west of here. But
Could we
you
get the
no
compass
details.
directions on the map, Zach? Or are they on there somewhere?
It's up, left, down, right.
Oh, it is north
it's
is up.
North is
Okay,
up.
cool.
Yeah.
No worries.
I didn't put it on because I forgot.
So west of here implies that someone else was also taken.
Yes.
Can I use sense motive just to get like a vibe check on the inhabitants of Crossroads as I do my little bit of shopping?
Sure.
See if people are generally happy or worried or.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Sorry, Mav. That's a 27.
Yeah.
I just can't investigate. I'm just not allowed to be an investigator anymore. I'm going to hang up my hat.
The thing is,
It's such
you
a
are
good
in
hat.
a bleak and grim land where people are constantly in mortal danger if they stray too far from their homesteads. Despite that, there is no especial worry going up. People seem to think that everything is normal within the normality of Rule and Tarandaur.
Mhm. Cool.
And Abrikus, you wanted to get ingredients.
Plant knowledge, please. I'm trying to find some plants in society. 21.
Cool. Yeah. Plants. The bulk of plants that are grown by mortal hands, and not just out in the wild in Rule, is in Rule proper, which is a fishing and farming village. That is where Aldrich Errol has deployed his cold lamps, which are they're like UV lamps that allow the sun, the plants to grow more easily. In terms of herbs and stuff, there's plenty of stuff that grows kind of wild around here, but you do know that there is stuff. You find out that far to the east, south of Aldrich Manor, is a place where stuff grows that doesn't grow anywhere else.
Could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna note that for later.
Absolutely. But yeah, is there any particular plant stuff you want to know?
Mostly I'm on the vibe for alchemical ingredients that I can generally use. I do have 2 dark vision elixirs prepared at any given time for me and Kasana to use. But
We have the goggles.
that's true, we do also have the goggles. But having some additional things so I can free up my capacity to have some elixirs of life, for instance, on hand in case something goes incredibly wrong would be good.
Cool. Yeah, you can. There are apothecaries. There's nothing real fancy here, but there are wise people that do some brewing. You can definitely get the pieces for that, the stuff for that.
Okay.
I think you looted the pockets of the guards.
Shamelessly,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So you would have enough to probably get like 2 or 3 lesser elixirs.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that then.
Then we have whatever elixirs we picked up from the path beneath.
Yep, I've got the 4 bottles of bottled lightning, and then now I have 4 total lesser elixirs of life. Nice. So
Sweet.
I'm the tertiary healer now.
Powerful.
And y'all, both of you can't touch me. Only Orin can.
I don't think elixir of life does positive healing, does it? It's an alchemical item.
Does it?
No. Potions are positive. Elixirs are just healing. They don't have
Oh, okay.
positive trait.
So I can help you.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right, Cassandra, don't even look at me.
Don't at me
I'm
with
blaming
your
my
power.
failed rolls
I'm
on
sorry,
you.
you are being too discreet.
I like that. Take that going forward.
Incredible. Cool. So you rest outside of Crossroads and keep going. Everybody is at full health. Any conditions that persisted no longer persist. As you strike out into the woods towards the Rams' camp, it's another day or 2 of travel. What do you expect to find as you move through the woods?
Well, hopefully not any undead is the main thing.
I want to keep an eye out that we don't end up setting off any snares or alarm stuff that the Rams might have set up to keep
Yeah.
their shit safe.
Also good.
So just like being
I'd actually-
aware.
I would like to check how many do I see signs of undead as we travel? Like and normal like compared to what I would expect in a parish of this size. Do I get any signs that the undead are even like a problem here?
I guess make a perception or religion check. Both wisdom. You see the signs that undead, rise here, like they rise everywhere else in Tarandaur. But this does seem like a place where they are pruned pretty effectively. Where like the warden and his people are quick enough to dispatch any undead that it doesn't. They very rarely grow into hordes big enough to threaten any of the places. That Eidnir on the frontier on the edge of the parish has an old giant's temple that is their town hall, and also has there's a watchtower there where a sharpshooter just picks off any undead they see coming out of the woods. And between those two things, and then Crossroads real proper, closer to the rulership, so that they get a little bit more protection. It's a place that's set up pretty well, though. As you begin to move into this neck of the woods, you do start to see the signs of the passage of something big.
Big.
Big. Bigger than Orin.
And like, are we talking like grizzly bear, or are we talking bigger?
Make a survival or nature check. It's definitely got paws. And those
6.
paws have claws. And those paws are the paws of a big old bear.
I really don't want to fight an undead bear. Avoid it.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to fight an alive bear, honestly.
That's it. Just
Well, if
No,
it's
but-
undead, we would be remiss not to destroy it.
I know, but it just when they're undead, they don't know better than to stop. Grizzly, you can run off. But
Yeah.
your ears open.
Yeah, you as you move through the woods, as you approach the region of the Stojan wood marked on Alexi's map, you begin to see small signs of passage. A boot print here, a painted sigil on a tree trunk there. People have been here, moved through these woods, and recently. But you also feel something else, a tingling at the back of your head as you move closer to the spot. And suddenly, the sound of something huge and heavy moving through the brush echoes ahead. A massive, dark shape stomps its way towards you, sniffing the air as it looms into view.
The one thing I didn't want to do.
That is an upsetting piece of imagery right there. Oh my god.
Oh, it's massive. I hate it.
It's so big.
That is so big.
It's so
Fucking
big.
hell.
A great brown bear, but something's wrong. Its eyes are milky white, and bits of calcified bone spikes jut out from its joint, even as segments of flesh slough off, undead, and yet moving with a terrible and unerring will, heading straight towards you. How about we all roll initiative?
I gotta zoom in to find my token. Hold on.
Thanks to Zay and Peku, the map makers, for this map. I sub them on Patreon, and they allow streamers to use their maps, which is
Now
very
I get a
cool.
good roll.
Thank you all.
Of course.
Initiative. Always flat-footed, Abricus.
Always flat-footed, never the flat.
That one caught me off guard.
Damn. Zach, what have I told you about this? It's unsportsmanly.
He's only got a +6. Y'all just need to roll better. As the zombie bear descends from the woods and makes to charge, Elżbieta, you react faster than anybody else.
Yeah, so, reaction to panic. No, I'm just kidding. So I would love to devise a stratagem against that bear. So like as she's pulling out, I'm gonna pull out the musket since I've got it. Oh, it's way too far.
It is 90 feet away.
That's fine. I think,
You can fire, you just beat a -2.
yeah, I think, let me see.
If you wanted to, Mab, you would have to stay put. You can always ready a shot.
Right, I
when it
don't know,
comes
because like if
closer.
I do a call, like not a called action, but if I do a shared stratagem and do I would have to hit it first before it benefits.
You've got to hit it first.
Yeah. Oh, what's my range? 40 feet with this or 35? I have it written down.
For the musket, I think it's either 40 or 60.
Oh, don't actually mean to roll an attack.
Oh.
Jesus fucking Christ!
You should
take it.
40 feet.
You should use that roll 20. You should use that 20 you rolled. Yeah, fantastic. 40 feet, which means that you would take a -4, which would reduce
Yeah.
that. That's 20. That's a nat 20 plus your proficiency. You'd be using your intelligence instead of your dexterity.
Oh, that's even higher then.
Yes. Yes. That would be int is 4.
Oh, 4. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, 4 plus 2 plus level. So
A big
10?
number.
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Cracking
Yeah.
Well, that's
shot there,
fine.
Elizabeth.
So
Fine.
that makes it a 26 when you take out the range bonus,
Mhm.
the range penalty. But This is a firearm, which gives
Yeah.
it the fatal traits.
Uh-huh.
And the fatal traits, I guess I need to pull it up because it's not in your weapon thing.
No, I didn't expect. What does that mean?
Always
I am
expect
baby.
to roll
Please
a
tell
critical
me.
Um,
I'm baby. I'm Pathfinder baby. I don't know what it means.
Well, so one, flintlock musket has the fatal D10 trait, which means that
Okay.
you are going to roll. And I just have to verify that this doesn't affect your strategic strike damage.
Let
Yes.
me.
You're going to roll. I'm going to tell you what you were going to type into the roll 20.
Okay, thanks.
You're going to type in /R,
Uh-huh.
and then a space,
Yes.
and then the opening, the beginning of a parenthetical
Okay.
function.
Yes.
And in that, you're going to write 2d10
Uh-huh.
plus 2d6,
Okay.
close parentheses,
Uh-huh.
ampersand, not ampersand, asterisk,
Uh-huh.
2
Uh-huh.
plus
Jesus.
1d10.
Uh-huh.
So
That's so many.
basically, the normal damage die of the gun has increased to a d10 for the purposes of this crit.
Okay.
You're going to roll that plus your strategic type, which is then doubled, and then an additional d10 is
Okay.
added on top of that.
Okay.
And that is what fatal means. Fatal means that when you crit, your damage die increases and gets an additional die.
Okay. All right. I will recap that into my notes later, but for now, let's go. That's so many dice, but I got a 2 and a 3. Oh, those are the 2. Hell yeah. The 3 was
fine. As this thing takes 34 damage, but wait, it has a weakness to critical hits. It takes an additional 12 damage, meaning that you deal 46 damage as you just whip out your musket, hit a knee, sight, bam! A huge section of this thing's skull just smashes away. And you see behind it is steel.
I think we found ourselves a construct of sorts.
Maybe. It still seems like it's undead, but there's something metal on and in its
Beneath
head.
it. Yeah. I'm gonna reload, and that's my turn.
That is your turn. Next is the zombie bear. Which means it is going to it's gonna move its speed up, and then it is going to rush.
Jesus Christ!
It strides with a plus 10-foot circumstance bonus to its speed, meaning it can move up to 45 feet as it charges and swipes at Kasana with its claws. Was a 24
It
hit,
hits.
Kasana, you
Yes.
take 17 slashing damage, but unfortunately for it, it can't grab you because it has no more actions. Wait. I
No.
am foolish because zombies are slowed 1 permanently. It can't.
Ah, yes.
So it spends its whole turn getting up to you. So you're at full health as it becomes Oren's turn.
Marvelous. I will.
Sorry, I didn't actually call who I wanted that strike to be for. I think
Right. Shared stratagem allows you to make
Yeah.
it flat-footed to one enemy, one ally.
I think I'm definitely more fond of Orin to start with. So it's going to be Orin pretty much as a default, unless I say otherwise.
Fair.
Right.
No offense,
Understandable.
Kasana.
Okay, I am going to go into a rage, and for the first time you see the scythe start to glow along with some of the symbols that they paint onto themselves as Oren steps up, raging, and takes a swing at the bear.
So big.
It's so big.
Massive.
It's
I will
flat-footed.
re-roll that. It is flat-footed, but I don't know. I will
Yeah.
happily spend a hero point if that doesn't hit.
Yeah, that's not going to hit.
Okay.
It's a good thing I didn't plan to use burning hands.
Just hold him up against its flank.
23.
That'll hit. 23 plus 12. 20
That
that's
is
plus
all
12.
Good damage.
It is positive damage. It's not
Positive
all
damage.
positive damage, but it is. Your rage damage has positive damage.
No, I can opt to make all of the damage positive.
Can you? Or is that a blade
Yes.
of justice? Okay.
No, but let me double check it, but I'm fairly certain
That's fine. Sweet. So you do 12 plus 3, 15 plus 10. This thing has a weakness to positive damage. As Oren steps in and swings and just buries a hot, glowing scythe in the flank
Potato.
of this thing, of this terrible bear. Oren, now you're close. You see that there's something screwed into its skull. Some sort of steel contraption that is glowing with runes. But that was rage, step, swing, so I believe that is you.
Yeah, that's me done.
Kasana the Spear.
So, Kasana is going to look at this thing and shove a hand into its fur and say, "Back into the ground with you," as she casts Disrupt Undead.
Boom.
Or I think it didn't deal the attack damage. 1d sec.
It didn't automatically roll the attack damage, at least.
Here we go. Let me hit it again.
Ugh.
Ooh. What? Wow.
Really?
Let's roll a fort save. Boom. 23.
Wow.
It succeeds on the fort save, which means it takes 7 positive damage, but plus 10, so 17 positive damage. Boom. A big blast of holy light, or at least positive light, vibrant, vital light. As more of this thing kind of like vaporizes, and you see like elements of its rib cage open to you. Kasana, you have one action left.
For her last action, she draws her Geis arm, spinning it around a few times as it comes off of her back.
Mm-hmm. And that is a Precus's turn.
Okay. Yeah, this thing's frightening. Precus, very much taken flat-footed by all of this, has to steady himself to realize what's happening, but he'll thrust out a hand and hit it with Chill Touch.
Cool. That you'd have to be a little closer for that, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, actually, no. I won't need to do that. Sorry, I forgot to say something before that, which is I have reach spell.
You're gonna reach spell it. Okay, cool. Perfect. So your chill touch kind of extends past your grasp to hit this bear for 6 negative damage. Negative damage. That'll heal it.
So in this specific case, because it's an undead, the way that it
right.
works is a bit different. If it fails
becomes-
the roll, yeah, it'll be flat-footed.
It becomes flat-footed. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, a lot of. Would you believe it? No one's ever actually used chill touch in all the games I've run in all this full almost 2-year span I've been running this game.
I figured he'd run into undead, so I was like, well, shit, I might as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is a success. It is not flat-footed.
Yep, nothing
You
happens to it.
have been rolling really well.
That was a 5 on the die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this bear is just very...
We've discovered the highest save of the bear is fortitude.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking.
As
Was that a... Yeah, no, I'm just looking. I'm like, that was its will save.
That's a fort save.
That's fortitude.
Oh, the notes say will save. I'm
Weird.
sorry, I'm just reading the... Unless it's... if the undead creature is... as a failure. But the target also is... Okay, never mind. I was reading the wrong bits of the notes.
Okay.
So, in which case, I'm going to attempt to... Let's see. Well, I'm gonna attempt to use Ill Omen, which is a new spell that I just picked up. And what it does is that the target is struck with misfortune, which throws us off balance, and it must succeed or attempt a will save.
Cool. Very cool. The zombie bear is going to attempt a will save against an 18 DC. Wait, is this a mental effect? No, it's just a misfortune effect. Okay.
Yeah.
15, that's a failure.
Oh, thank God.
So, the first time during the duration that the target attempts an attack roll or a skill check, it must roll twice and use the worst of the roll. So,
what does it look like for Elżbieta, who is not like a wizard or a witch
No.
or any of those mages, but what does this spell look like?
I think, especially because she's standing considerably further back from everyone else, what she does is that she like holds out a hand and she just says, "Now stand down," in like a very like firm voice, but like also I think there's like probably a little bit of sparkle in the eye, that is, you know, a little weird, that normally isn't there, but also no one's looking at her, so it's fine. They just hear her shout to have it stand down, and then she's gonna shoot it again.
Oh, yeah.
With just my normal uncalled or unstrategized shot.
Cool.
26.
26 is a good roll. When you're not critting it and not doing positive damage, that is actually reduced to 4.
The damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for a moment I thought you said the attack was. I was like,
Yeah,
no, rude!
You dealt 4 piercing or bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
This thing seems it's pretty significantly beefy. You just managed to hit its 2 weaknesses immediately last time.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it is going to attempt to eat. It's gonna turn around and try to snap its jaws on Orin Natsuko.
It does have disadvantage.
It does have disadvantage in the classic style. So that first roll is a 35.
Yeah, that crits, funnily enough.
But ill omen means it has to roll twice and use the worst results. So it's going to roll again. And that's a 28.
Which
Not a crit.
Not a crit.
Not a crit.
Not a crit.
Thank you, Elżbieta. Thank you.
So that
Much
is
appreciate you.
Woo!
18 piercing damage to Orin Natsuko, as it then swipes its huge bear paw at Kasana the Spear. With a 30 to hit.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just barely not a crit.
Very close to a crit, but not quite. Kasana, you take 20 slashing damage, and that is the bear's turn.
Lord.
Wow.
I double checked, and Zach, you're right. It is just the rage damage that takes the positive or negative traits.
Cool.
I knew you were right, but I just needed to get it clear in my head. Let's take another. Actually, I'm going to take a move and stride so I can flank this bear with Kasana.
Cool.
And take. First, I want to try and strike it.
Sweet.
If
Give
Roll
us-
20 will wake up. I clicked it.
Mhm.
There we go. Oh, fuck
Ugh.
off.
Ew.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Thankfully, we're not using the fumble deck.
Oh, thank you.
Imagine.
Okay, I'm gonna second thing. I'm gonna try and trip it.
Cool.
Oh, that's the -5. Yeah.
Yes, unless you're using assurance.
I don't have assurance yet. That won't do it.
That is close, but no cigar. As you like kind of like try to hook the blade of your rapier, not your rapier, your scythe under its like massive paw. This is actually a huge sized beast. I don't know if you have Titan Grappler.
I do.
Okay, then
I
you
do.
could. Then you have the capability of tripping it, but this time it was not a success. This thing is rooted. It is strong. It is massive, and it
Okay.
is Katana the Spear.
All right. So, Kasana is going to. Oof. All my spells are necromancy. Okay.
Didn't you pick up Lay on Hands?
Land hands is yes, no.
But against
So-
undead, that will do damage.
Oh yes. Yeah, so no, that's not the thing.
Okay.
Basically, or moved away, which causes some problems for me.
I didn't
but
know that was
that's-
going to be a problem.
It's okay, it's okay. Just give me 1 sec. Kasana is going to step back, I think, and is going to all right, no, that's not what Kasana's gonna do. Kasana's gonna cast Disrupting Weapons.
Nice.
Only on herself though,
Fantastic.
because it's in range touch, and no one is in her range of touch anymore.
Too bad you don't have reach spell.
Can you touch it to the top of your weapon and the bottom of your weapon, and you could just go ba ba ba? No, I'm just kidding.
Cool.
Unless touch can count for the reach of my Geist arm, I can't give it to Elsbetia.
If only.
Unfortunately.
Just poke me with your guy's arm.
Yeah.
Here, take this.
It has to do damage for it to work. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then
Fucking rude.
she slashes out with her silver Geist arm.
Hell yeah. 18 will just hit
Nice.
with it flat-footed.
All right, and it's also going to take a 1d4 positive, so that's 14 slashing and 4 positive.
So it's actually 8 slashing and 14 positive. Because the normal physical damage it is resistant to, the positive damage it is weak to. This thing is starting to look, it's starting to fall apart. It's like in a rough spot.
Look, it's starting to look bad. It's looked bad.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I couldn't bespell my weapon on it because that would have just dealt negative damage. That's my turn.
All right, sounds good. Apricus.
Okay. Yeah, it turns out the ghost hand didn't quite work how I intended. So, time to go with plan B. Hey, which one of you two wants to be large?
Make or larger.
Or shall be so big? I think I went them 30 feet. Just check. Yes, just.
Just
Big. Be big. Be big and take care of it, please.
Christ. Okay.
And in addition to enlarging, he'll point his index finger and it'll fizz with a bit of energy as he just shoots off a force bolt.
All right, 5 full damage. That's good damage on a force bolt.
Choo!
It's a little bit of free damage.
Just a big old ping.
Cool. Yeah, this thing is definitely like on its last legs. You have done a very good job of shutting it down, even as it does big damage to each of you.
Yeah, keep in mind too, when you are large, Orin, you are, I think, clumsy 1.
Clumsy
Yeah, I
one.
just looked up what that did. So
It's just a penalty of its type to your dex mod. But big damage. Round 3 begins, and it is Elżbieta's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna reload and this time properly devise a stratagem without just hitting the button randomly, wantonly. So let's just roll 1d20 and then go from there.
Yeah. It's a 10.
Okay. So I would use my
Your trained proficiency, which is 4 plus 4, so 8 plus. Wait, no. 2 plus your level, so 6 plus your modifier, which is 10. So 10
so
plus
that
10,
would be a
so
dirty 20 to hit it.
It will be a dirty 20, to use the parlance of another show. Which
It's a good term. I like it.
Yeah, considering that you know that Kasana hit it flat-footed on an 18.
Yes. Does it count as flat-footed to me? No, because I'm not part of the flanking, or because it
doesn't.
Okay.
But if she hit on an 18,
Yeah.
and it was flat-footed, you'll probably hit on a 20 when it isn't
Yes.
flat-footed.
Yes.
It's flat-footed is a -2 to AC.
-2. Okay, that's what I thought. Then yes, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. So she reloads the musket, holds it up, lines up the shot, and then just kind of waits for a moment to get a good clear line, and then fires again.
Bang. So that's just going to be a total of 4d6 damage.
4d6.
I believe so, because your strategic. No, your
yes.
strategic, your strategic strike is not increased yet, is it? I've been playing with a higher level investigator. 3d6.
Okay. An additional 1d6. Okay, yes. I see what you mean. Yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll. I'll set this all up eventually, or if someone can help me make little things for it.
Yeah. I didn't. If I had realized that your macros weren't, that your buttons.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
fancy numbers.
Yeah. I'll sit down with you sometime.
Okay,
11.
solid.
Cool.
All right.
Very solid.
And then I'm gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I guess it's flat-footed for both of them already, for Orin and Kasana. So
You can make it flat-footed for Abricus if he does an attack roll. It will be flat-footed.
Ricus, do you have any attack spells? Can it be attack spells, or does it have to be a physical
Yeah.
strike?
Okay. A spell with an attack roll is the same mechanically as swinging a sword at it.
Yes, I do
Okay.
have spell attacks too, so I can do that.
Okay, then I'll just kind of also shout over to Abricus, just being like, all right, try to help finish it off.
No
I
promises.
didn't mean for it to sound that mean, but also it did kind of sound mean.
I guess it's just part
Put
of
it
my
in the
reputation
big
now.
spot.
You want to add another one to your tally?
At least it's not a sentient target and something that would be widely accepted by society, so yes.
So it becomes the zombie bear's turn. It is going to shuffle around and go for the largest targets. That being you. 25 to hit on that first strike.
Hits.
You take 19 piercing damage as it gets its big, huge jaws on your shoulder, and then its arm comes up and just hits you again. 21,
So hits.
16 slashing.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh, painful.
Orin is looking rough, but it is now Orin's turn.
I'm just like bleeding, just like practically eye level with despair, because I know how Bear Posh is. Just like, I don't know who did that to you, but we're going to figure it out. And I'll attempt to swing again. 22.
22 will hit. You bury your scythe in this thing, and it sets back. You have ended this fight. I'll tell you that. You did the mechanical thing that brings this fight to its end.
I think. Yeah.
You bury your scythe. You pull it out.
Fun.
This bear kind of stumbles back, falls. The great zombie bear slumps over. I've got to think of this. Not for this exactly, but the great zombie bear slumps over. Its necromantic energies seemingly overtaxed. Then, suddenly, the steel cap fastened to its skull flares with mystic glyphs, and it begins to rise once more. Before it can rise fully, however, a shot rings out. Sparks fly from the steel cap, and the bear falls for good. Your eyes search for the source of the shots, and then you see them. A tall, lithe individual in a heavy overcoat and scarf wrapped around their face, twirling a smoking dueling pistol in one hand while holding another trained on the lot of you. Well, look what we have here. Bunch of babes in the woods. What will we do with you? As they speak, at least a dozen other people in hides and leathers reveal themselves from behind trees, wielding a motley assortment of muskets, crossbows, and other weaponry, all waiting for the slightest twitch to set them off. You found the rams. Unfortunately, they have found you too.
How long does enlarge last for? Sorry?
Enlarge lasts for, let's see.
5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes.
Cool.
So you're just going to be big for this.
Kasana is going to step over the bear.
Step over it. You're gonna climb over it.
You know, step, not like over the whole thing, just, you know, part of it. And stroll up and say, "Are you the Rams?"
One moment. They look at you. There's a tall, lithe. They're hard to tell with this big coat they're wearing, with one gleaming blue eye that kind of glints in the moonlight. What little comes through the trees. They say, yes, you found us in our strange and out of the way sanctuary. You've bested our terrible guard dog, and you stand before us for as much as that gets you. I am Soren Satar. I give a bit of direction to these folks, though there is no true shepherd. We don't go in for that sort of thing. Who the fuck are you?
I am Kastana the Spear of the People's Crusade.
All right.
I and those others here.
Brigade.
Yes. I and these others here are the friends of Alexei Vital. We were told to come here, that he had discovered something terrible. And when we arrived, Argus Vanatori had kidnapped him as a traitor and burned his house down with us inside of it. We've come to you because we think you, as the Rams, may be able to tell us a bit more about what's actually going on in this parish.
A bit more, yeah. You're friends of Alexi's.
Yes.
Amongst the letters and paperwork that we took from his desk, or even the stuff that we had, that was all his like second and third identities and so on. Was there anything that we could use that's like an identification, being like, yes, we actually are from him, we came from his house, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your stuff has his handwriting.
Yeah.
You do remember now that chest of bombs and elixirs that you found underneath his house had a note tied to it that said, "For Soren."
Oh, yes,
Okay.
that would be in my possession then.
Mm-hmm.
Apricus.
I only
will...
took the disguise kit.
Yeah, that's fair. Apricus will reach into his pack very slowly, non-threateningly, I should add, and pull out the note from the professor and hold it out and say, "You were the one that was mentioned in this, I believe. We did liberate the supplies that he happened to have, but I believe he intended these originally for your use."
For our use. Soren comes and takes a look at the notes and the stuff. Says, "Yeah, that's what we were supposed to get next." All right, this ain't much of a place for extended conversation. How's about you come with us to our camp and we can talk more?
Before that
Yeah.
happens,
Oh.
is this actually your bear?
After a fashion, it rose on its own a few years ago, but Alexi figured out a way to attune it to a charm we've got back at camp, so that it stays within a certain radius, but can't get within a certain radius, as a sort of moving fence.
The guard dog. Yeah.
Leashed.
Guard dog. Aye. Though, new ally is more important than keeping an old bear around, so that's not getting up anytime soon.
Oren looks very unapologetic as they flick the ichor off their scythe blade
Ugh.
and starts wiping it off.
Yeah. Soren, they don't seem like they hold any ill will about it.
Good.
If I was to cast, say, Gentle Repose on this bear,
Aye.
would that prevent it from, out of character, would that prevent it from getting up again, ever?
Yeah, well, basically what Soren did with that shot was they broke the runes that were keeping it in.
All right, and from living in this world, do I know if undead that fall stay down, or do we need to burn it? Or...
Usually, but it never hurts because it's still a body that somebody could come along and do stuff with.
Okay, well, I can handle that easily.
He's gonna go set it on fire.
Yeah, well, may as well be careful. So he'll produce flame and just sort of find some tinder nearby and throw it on the bear to help light it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kasana was about to like cast a spell on this bear, and then like Apricius comes up and sets it on fire, and says, "Ah, yes. You'll have to forgive him. Our friend Apricius here loves to set bodies on fire."
Thank
All
you.
right,
That
really,
was a thing of convenience.
You're the one who did the back in Grand Lodge, eh?
My reputation precedes me. Wonderful.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I am one of the ones who helped take down the guest.
Fantastic, the petit bourgeoisie. Also, good on you.
Wasn't my original intention, but it just so happened to be in our best interest after our original plan failed.
Say no more, mate. I get you. All right, so they begin to pull strips of cloth. You have killed our beast, but it's still a secret camp. So if you could put these on, I'd be much appreciative.
As you are.
Do you have something bigger?
Before that happens, allow me to heal my friend here. You understand, we want to come into your camp
Sure.
fully prepared.
They kind of just lean up against a tree and wait, arms crossed.
Yeah, so she's gonna cast lifelink, which is going to not lifelink, sorry, wrong one. She casts Healer's Blessing. There we go. She uses Healer's Blessing, and she's then going to cast a second level heal on Orin.
Oh.
Cool.
So you get back, that's
19 plus 3.
Yeah, so 19 plus 3, so you get back
22.
22, and then she taps you one more time with Lay on Hands, and you get back an additional 12 hit points.
Nice.
Marvelous. I think that the rage fades, but obviously they're still big, and it's just like, thank you, Kassan.
And then she's gonna use Battle Medicine on herself.
I could do that for you.
Very well, Doctor.
Start here, or do you want to wait till we're at the camp?
I
Take
prefer
a bit more
here.
time. Okay. Let's aim for the DC 20. Let me check my thing. God, that's a long description. I didn't realize.
You make them ready to
Yeah,
roll.
I'll make. Yep, I'm aiming for the DC 21.
Cool.
Oh, motherfucker.
Ooh.
That's not.
I'll hero
everyone,
point that.
everyone got a hero point from killing the bear.
Yay.
There we go.
There we
Nice.
go.
Much better.
So
So
2d8
it was a
plus something.
15.
Yeah, because of medic.
23 hit points back.
Sweet.
All right, and I get 2 less than that, but I'm still at full.
Yeah, perfect. Sornus reloaded their second dueling pistol and is kind of just idly doing revolver ocelot tricks with it.
Kept you waiting.
And they
Huh?
look over. Yeah, kept you waiting. They look
Here's not even polka, and it's just like it's just spinning it around.
and they're like, "Are we all good? How much?" By this time, the enlarge will have worn off.
Okay.
Yes, apologies for making you wait an additional 12 seconds. We may now continue.
All right. And they lead you off deeper into the woods. The other rams that had been around, kind of watching you, kind of meld back into the shadows.
One quick question. since I didn't quite grasp the passage of time. But the treat wounds took about 10 minutes to do, right?
I guess it was battle medicine, not treat wounds.
Yeah, it's the same ability. Just battle medicine lets you do it as an action.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that you'd use battle
combat.
medicine, so never mind then.
No, it's okay. It's just the feat battle medicine lets you do treat wounds as an action.
Yeah. Then on the way to the camp, is there enough time for Apricus to refocus at least?
Yes, it's going to be like a couple of hours of walking. Blindfolded walking.
Oh, terrible. 2 whole hours. Love it.
Yeah, as
people guiding us, or like,
yeah,
or is
yeah.
Soren just being like, "All right, listen closely to where I'm walking. Good luck."
Don't trip on a root.
Soren will guide you and the people around you. Cool. After about an hour or two of walking through thick, deep woods, you come out into a forest clearing filled with threadbare tents of every conceivable size, shape, and color. More members of the Rams milled out in small groups around a half dozen small cook fires, eating thin soup and bread and talking softly amongst themselves. In the center of the camp, a crystal-studded silver object grows softly at the top of a tall wooden pole. I'll put you on here. This is not a fight map. This is just a hanging out map, so we probably won't need everyone here, but better to have than not.
I get into flanking position.
Oh, this was your goal all along.
As you leave the tree line, Soren allows you to take your blindfolds off. And they say, well, welcome to paradise. Feel free to take a seat wherever. This is if you want some soup. It sucks, but it's better than nothing.
Soup, it sucks. Sorry, that wasn't in character.
Thank you. Yeah.
You got anyone in need of medical attention?
Not at the moment. We've been pretty cagey. Haven't gotten anyone injured recently. Soren takes you over to a set of seats made from chopped up logs where a somber-looking man waits, staring into the fire. Soren begins ladling out bowls of soup for people, especially the people that were with them on the like kind of scouting mission to find all of you. And they say, by the way, this is Happy Jim. He is our cook and fix-it man. And the morose man kind of looks up at you. And just looks back at the fire. He's a bit unhappy at the moment, but it didn't affect his cooking ability. The leader says, it was always kind of shit.
I was about to ask. For better or for worse?
Yeah, no. Tell me about Alexei, and I mean, I know where you came from. Looks at Apricus, but I know a bit. But I've heard of you from the broadsheets over in Coronant. But what about you two? Did you know Alexei?
I did some work for him. I'm an investigator and a hunter of sorts.
Oh, okay.
Found me?
To
Found you.
He found you.
How did you get
When I woke up. When I woke up.
Soren looks at the rest of you as they say this.
Elzbieta just was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna react to that. But obviously, Kazan and Apricus are like, thinking emoji.
Big thinking face, yeah.
Eyes emoji, but huge.
Yeah.
I just love being the weird greyish blue-skinned person that nobody seems to comment on. It's great. I just love this.
I mean, to
You
be
know,
fair.
we turned out to have someone in our group who was more dead. So,
True. Very true.
I love how that applies to more than one of us.
Soren kind of goes like, well, I suppose that, he finds all of us in a way.
I
Don't
wasn't
need to
being
interrogate.
political.
I know, but we also don't need to interrogate it if it's not something that is relevant.
Just pat your arm. She's like, it's okay.
So, and you've told me a bit about yourselves, and you killed my bear. So let me fill you in a bit. Alexei was supposed to be. He was acting as our agent, infiltrating the estate of Aldrich Errol under the assumed identity of Holbrook Mason, an engineer. He was supposed to be stealing plans, blueprints and such that we could repurpose Aldrich's cold lamps technology and his other innovations. Democratize the technology a bit, get them in the hands of the people, and find our own uses for them. But in dark, about a week ago, just after we received an emergency message through our beacon, a little magic thing he'd built so that we could keep in contact. We got we got an alarm and then nothing. We've been trying to figure.
Oh, I was going to say, it does seem he was fired, and then found by the hounds.
And then fired again.
Well, no, he's still alive. He's not been... Well, I mean, his house has been fired. But as far as we can tell, the professor is still alive, being held in the lodge.
That is a rough set of circumstances. The Vanatori Lodge.
Yes.
Yep.
yes,
Okay.
one of the things we would like your assistance in is forming a group to siege it.
All right. Well, let's talk about that a bit, because we had been trying to find out what happened from the forest, but we hadn't had much luck so far. So we've mostly just been hiding and sending a couple of people into town to snoop around. It was during one of those scouting missions that Happy Jim's brother, Sad Jack, was captured by Arrow loyalists. He went into the pub at Eidnir, tried to glean info from the locals, but only succeeded in getting a bit too drunk and breaking cover, far as we know. Right now, he's being held in a cell in that old giant temple, and he's gonna be probably hung, which is bad enough because Sad Jack's one of ours, and we don't like our people getting pinched. But considering what you need, it's doubly bad for you because Sad Jack is our best woodsman. And you're going to need one of those if you want to get through the death forest that surrounds the Vanatori Lodge.
A death forest?
Oh yeah, that hound, he seeded that place with more traps and alarms than any other space that I've ever seen.
I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Mm.
Or if you were asking Kasana, we would just stomp all over the traps.
Gives you a glare.
Typically what you mean by storming a breach, you're breaching the walls of a castle.
You know there's many uses for a long pole, and one of them is disarming traps.
So, if there was anybody who was going to be able to get you through that forest untouched, it would be Sad Jack. Which brings me to a proposition. Trying to bust Sad Jack out of the fortified town hall in Eidnir is a fool's errand. That place is giant make, unbreakable. That stone's been standing for 1,000 years and it'll stand for 1,000 more. But, I tap my mic, but 2 days from now, a paddy wagon is going to transport him from Eidnir to Crossroads to face judgment and punishment. That trip is long enough and goes through enough unoccupied stretches of land that there's more than enough opportunity to stage a mid-transit rescue operation. If you can stop the wagon and free Sad Jack, then I am more than happy to lend you resources and manpower to breach the Venatory Lodge and rescue our good friend Alexei.
Looks
I think
at
that sounds.
Yeah, Kasana looks at everyone before she speaks. So yeah, like if anyone has anything.
Oh, no objections here. I had no illusions that we'd be doing it on our own.
No, I think the help would be much appreciated, and thus, one good turn deserves another. I don't see why we shouldn't help.
And I can see that we share a common goal outside of that, since, admittedly, even as one of the scholarly troop, I was someone who was intending to get my hands on one of those cold lamps at least. It's evaded me up till now, but I've been hoping to study it in detail to see if it could replicate it on a more massive scale. So, congratulations, you have someone with a bit of a seated interest.
Soren.
Aye.
The goals that Alexei Vital, the professor, was helping you with are certainly noble. Distributing the cold lamp technology is a just cause and one I can get behind. What I need to know before I help the Rams in direct subterfuge and attack on the Arrels is what you can tell me about Aldrich Errol that can show me that he deserves all of this.
Well, that's kind of the problem. Because, beyond the natural paternalism that afflicts all of these heroic scions, we haven't gotten a lot of straight answers about Aldrich Errol. I can only imagine that Alexei found something that they wanted to shutting up. But details are slim. They call him the Maestro of Rule. He's a master tinkerer and inventor. He built the cold lamps. He did all this other stuff. He also has this whole situation with the apprentices, where he handpicks the best and brightest from Rule's villages and teaches them things in his lodge and then sends them off to the far reaches of Tarandaur, never to return. Ostensibly, they send back letters, but they're far too busy to return home.
Why do you guide this flock?
We guide ourselves. I am the one who's good at talking and who's good for a bit of action, but that doesn't make me a shepherd. There is
Rams
no
don't
shepherd
require a shepherd.
but the flock. Aye. We don't have concrete knowledge yet. That's what Alexi's got, and that's what we need to get.
We were able to pull some letters and documents from his study before we left, so if there's anything useful in there, you're more than welcome to avail yourselves to it. I believe Apricus also wanted to investigate some of the finer details of those letters and documents as well, so between the two of you,
Yes, I
perhaps something
was
useful.
hoping to examine in case there might have been any projects that the professor was working on before so unjustly apprehended.
Right, perhaps we can find something in all of that. I, out of character, completely forgot about that. And I planned on writing stuff for it, and I forgot.
I also
So-
just wrote up my notes last night, which probably didn't help any.
That's fine. We'll take it on advisement.
Yeah.
Yes, by the time we have freed Sad Jack and are on our way to Venatory Lodge, we will have gone through those, and that information will be known. But so, Kasana, I'm sorry if that's not a cut and dry, clean answer, but the only one we've got. There's something going on, and we need to find it out. Something worth capturing Alexi over, something worth killing you over. Even though I don't know what it is, I know that it's something we need to learn.
He pauses for a moment, looks at the fire. I have no fondness of fighting other living beings. I believe we have enough to fight and kill already. However, I will help you free Sad Jack. And I will go with you to free my friend and all of your friend, Alexi, and find out what he knows.
All right. Well, that's a start. That's a very good start. Yeah. And with that, Soren fills you in on the details. There is a paddy wagon that is going to be taking Sad Jack from Idnir to Crossroads, and that is going to happen in 2 days' time. It is up to you as powerful and knowledgeable people to figure out how and when and where you're going to stop that transport and free Sad Jack.
Okay. So would I be able to pursue a lead, or is that there's not a lot of like stuff out here to start perusing?
No, absolutely, absolutely. You can declare this your case.
Yeah.
The rescue of Sad Jack. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is not. I don't have like a specific encounter structure in mind. This is very much a thing that you can plan and figure out on your own. You just know that there is a 24-mile stretch of land in between the two settlements that you will need to set up an ambush at.
Right. And they're going from Aidner to the Crossroads?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, this business is horribly unpleasant, but as long as I'm 60 feet from the road, I can certainly set something on fire.
Is
I
that
would
your
prefer if we
solution?
didn't kill the people driving the cart to save one life.
Oh, I wasn't saying that I would target the people on the cart. I was merely suggesting I take out one of the wheels.
We can take out a wheel. We can lay a trap across the road. He can set a fallen tree on fire. There's many things that can be.
There are many things. You only know that the wagon, what the wagon is going to and from. There's still definitely stuff to investigate in this 2-day period before the transportation occurs.
Find the most likely route, and maybe set it so forced to take a certain path where we can be shepherding them, as it were.
Narrow down the path of travel, limit the options of the path of travel, and if we can find out how many wagons or the size of the guard that intend to go with them, things like that. Is Soren going to be assisting us, or is it just going to be the 4 of us?
They can come along as a last resort, but they are very keen on seeing you in action.
Okay.
So it's a test as much as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, hey, do you want to do some terrorism with us? Do you want to
fight a guerrilla war?
Do you want to actively become part of our rebellion?
So now you won't be able to say that you're not co-conspirators. You'll actually be co-conspirators.
Exactly.
Direct action. Well, in terms of what I have prepared, anyone let me know, of course, if this doesn't work. But currently, I have a gust of wind, mage armor for myself because I kind of need that. 2 magic missile spells. That's my first level. My second level has 2 sleep spells, a flaming sphere, and an acid arrow.
Sleep could be useful depending on the size of the guard party. Absolutely could come in handy.
Yeah, and to note too, unfortunately sleep is only a 5-foot burst, so I can't actually use my widen spell on it, I don't believe. Because it's too small.
We've got a couple of days anyway, so you'll have a chance to prepare new spells if you want them.
Yeah,
I'm inclined to go out on a survival check, or maybe an investigation, or combine the two to go and find the likely route, so we can start figuring out a way to.
Would love to assist with that. Also, I don't know if Experience Tracker would help here, if there's like a route that they use constantly between the two, but I mean, 'cause I'm not quite tracking in this case. But
we're looking for like a certain kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to be able to assist with that, Oren.
So,
especially because it will be a part of my investigation for my lead.
Mm.
The brilliant plan that Kasana suggests is that she stands in the middle of the road with Sanctuary cast on herself. And she demands they stop moving, and if it gets into a fight, they'll have a lot of trouble hitting her.
I mean,
I actually like that. Once we found the good spot for it to happen in, I actually think that's great.
And then I also wouldn't mind.
I would also.
Go ahead.
No, you finish yours.
Oh no, I was going to say in which case Elżbieta would hide in the trees along with Rikas and can just take pot shots and make anyone against Kasana flat-footed also.
I could just if I've been enlarged, if it gives any kind of circumstance bonus to athletics check, but the visual of just picking up the back of the cart so it can't go anywhere is very fun. Alternatively, I just smash my way into the back of the paddy wagon while the guards are busy to take out this very passionate older woman that won't get out of the middle of the road.
Yeah, I like this.
I do have a couple of fun tools that I can give you to help with that too. Because if we're preparing for that day, I can make 2 cheetahs elixirs to give you a speed boost.
But I think finding the spot and making sure, finding the route that the cart's likely to take, so we can plot where this is going to happen, make sure that, by maybe moving trees, the paddy wagon is forced to get where we want it to be, so we can do our welcoming party.
Yeah, I would do that
Yeah.
first.
So, yeah, I would love to be able to do that. I will help out with my pursue a lead content shenanigans. Which does just kind of give me a +1 circumstance bonus to all these investigatings.
Yeah, any of your cerebral attempts at like figuring this stuff out, you'll get a bonus for it. Which is great.
Okay, so it's gonna discern the best place for us to spring this welcoming party, and maybe just make it so other paths look less favorable for the cart to go. Like, if it's not been raining
Knock
recently,
some trees down, yeah.
Make the particular part of the road maybe particularly boggy, so they can't, like, if it's too muddy, the wheels won't be able to get through it.
Fantastic. Yes, whoever's leading that, give me a survival check.
Okay, I have a +8 to survival.
I have a +1.
Do not look at me.
I have a 7, so I could assist.
I mean, sorry, I have a +7, and then I meant to say I have a +1 circumstance bonus.
Yeah, you
could.
I believe
as well.
you can also. Do you have clue in? I can't remember if that's a normal. You could clue in Orin and get them to a +9.
Okay, yeah. You share information with a triggering creature. They gain a circumstance bonus to their check equal to my circumstance bonus to checks investigating your subject from pursue a lead, which would be, I give you the +1. And
That's a
so
circumstance bonus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, sweet.
so I wouldn't be able to get helped as well, because that's also circumstance bonus, right? With an aid? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Kasana will definitely follow your lead. For this,
Right,
she'll
and this
have
also...
taken...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, for this she'll just have taken off her armor and the halberd. And so she's just kind of a small old lady in working clothes. She has suspenders holding up her pants. It's and just like a workman shirt on.
Cottagecore.
I love my
Cottagecore grandma.
This is incredible. I love that.
That's the name of my new indie rock band, Cottagecore Grandma.
Alrighty, I'll attempt this survival check.
All right.
25, baby.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Yes, you find a pretty good out of the way spot that is pretty equidistant between Aidnir and Crossroads, which means that they will probably be deep into their first day of travel when you spring this trap, which means they'll be a little tired, which is great. It is a section of road where there was a hill to the north with some trees and shrubbery, and a abandoned horse ranch to the south that has some like paddocks and stuff that was just off of the pond that could be used as cover.
Nice.
So two different areas of like one up high ground and one like significant, like solid cover.
In terms of distance, how close are each to the route that's being taken?
Pretty close. Like the northernmost field is right off the road.
Okay.
Like 20 feet, and then like also like the hill is like 40 feet away from the road.
Okay, so I can reach with my spells then. Thank goodness I picked up reach spell.
And then, yeah, and I can hit with my musket also.
Nice.
And then so what I would, as far as Elzbieta's plan to track them, is that I do have Shadow Mark, which makes me stealthier to avoid notice. They take a -2 circumstance penalty to their perception DC, but so I just wanted to like kind of like follow behind them, and then just kind of I can also like alert if anything goes wrong. I didn't write it down, but I did plan on taking a whistle that was just so I can make some noise, or if I can do like a little bird call to alert everyone, just being like a bird call, we're here.
Sure, yeah, you could try to do a bird call or a whistle.
Yeah, I mean, I have an actual whistle as an item, that so that can be heard. It's very loud.
If there's that pond so close to the road, as it were, I think I heard you say pond.
The pond.
If we
the pond
can-
is further from the road. The pond has the horse ranch between it and the road.
Okay, but if we've got enough time to set up, like, making the road, because I'm assuming this isn't going to be a paved road or anything like that, or cobblestones. It's just going to be like a dirt road. So if we can, like, make a section of it particularly wet and muddy, that is going to slow the cart as well, which is no bad thing.
Yeah, and I'll say, and while they're doing that, could I investigate in, like, if I have time to reach there, because I know it's going to take like a few days to reach Aidnir. But what I would like to do partly is find out how many people would be leaving with the wagon, so we can have that information, and then I can either follow behind them or meet up with the others before they leave the town.
Totally. Yeah. Give me a diplomacy check. A gather information. You'll get the +1 circumstance bonus for this.
All right, I'm not adding it on just in case. Don't want to confuse anyone. 15.
I believe you still have a hero point.
I do. Let's give it a go. I'm great in battle, but not in society. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yay.
23.
Oh, Lord,
That's
finally.
That's a 24 total.
Above a 10.
Finally.
Above.
I know.
10.
These dice
Yeah.
do go above 10.
They
Yeah.
do. Crazy.
Amazing.
Who would have thought? Yeah, you learn that it's a bunch of Aldrich's soldiers who are going to be guarding the wagon. You see them all like getting set up and ready to like get their stuff and go, like prepping. You see 2 guardsmen of the sort that you fought. You see another sharpshooter who seems to be calling the shots. And you do see 2 enormous men. Not too enormous, not like Natsuku or in size, but like big guys who are like bolting on half plates. And they've got these big swords strapped to their backs.
Okay.
Some like big juggernaut dudes.
Okay. They're just big beefy boys and not actually like big beefy boys.
Yeah, not mechanically big.
But appreciate.
They didn't have enlarged cast on them.
But they are big.
They are big. Okay. Yeah, then in which case, I'll like leave a few hours ahead or a day before them and meet up with everyone else to let them know.
Well,
Fantastic.
if we have time before springing this trap, can we check over this like farm with horse paddocks and stuff just to see if there's anything there, one of use or two that we should be concerned about?
Sure. Yeah, make some perception checks. To like
You guys can be
searching.
doing that while I'm poking around the town getting that information.
23.
23. Not anything you need to be worried about. It's abandoned. It's long abandoned. There are some horses that look like they were killed and then left where they lay. Looks like this place was hit with an undead attack. It's pretty deep, pretty far south.
Okay.
But it's been like years since then.
Okay.
Since it doesn't seem like we're intent on sleeping them, also, I'll go ahead and put my 2 spells to enlarge instead of sleep.
Cool. Yeah. You also know, Elzbieta, that it's going to be a 2-horse wagon that's carrying this guy.
Yeah. And does the wagon look reinforced in any way?
It's like a normal cart, like wagon, like for pulling stuff. That has had a big cage bolted into the cart bed.
So Sad Jack's gonna wake up and it's gonna be like the beginning of Skyrim.
A little bit, except it's a whole cage instead of just
Yeah.
tied up. And it's also covered. It's got
Okay.
like a tarp stretched over it so they can sit in.
Okay.
No one
Can
else
I-
to ask him. He's finally awake.
I know. It's like, can I also just like watch to make sure that Jack actually gets put in and it's not a decoy?
That would
Or that
probably
involve-
be too. You wouldn't be able to move fast enough, but you definitely
Yeah.
see Jack in the cell.
Okay.
He is kind of beaten up and bruised, guy with mutton chops and a mullet.
Nice.
Yeah.
This dude's disco. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I have brought my curse to a minor level before we start. All I have to do is have cast, say, Healer's Blessing on myself once. And,
Sure. Yeah, sure.
all right, cool.
I think we're going to take a break right here because this is going to be our finale for the day. You're probably not going to take this yet, so let's take about a 10-minute break. Mission.
All right.
Back. You rescue Sad Jack from the Arrow Forces and cement yourselves as bona fide new members of the Records.
Do we get matching tattoos? Just kidding. I don't want one.